Matt Curtis Productions, an independent company, partnering with Lazy Enterprises, presents Matt and Friends, City of Division. A spin-off of the online multiplayer game's story mode.
So, why are we here again? I'm confused and, to be honest, a little scared.
Some guy named Andrew was killed here recently. Apparently someone left a map in this house. Supposedly this is the house that belongs to someone named Jack.
Interesting. So some guy was killed, and you think that this Jack guy did it.
I seriously do not want to be here, but because Matt's out of action because of that stupid bitch, and because Brandon and the rest are watching over him for some reason, I'm not at liberty to say no, so let's go in, I guess.
Okay, then I'll be watching from the roof. I'll be watching through my sniper scope. I've also got video glasses if need be.
In a small living room, Jack sits on his couch, gazing at his phone. He is a bald man in his 50s, with a beard of a few days. Through a window, a small stream of sunlight filters into the room as the sun rises outside, reviewing the sparsely furnitured house. As Jack scrolls on his phone, he sees a news article written this morning. The article reads, "Early this morning, the lifeless body of James D. was discovered in his home. He appears to have been brutally murdered somewhere last night." As soon as Jack finishes reading the first few lines, he stops, shocked. He sits silent for a second, thinking. Flashback. Jack wakes up in the middle of the night. He gets out of bed to get a glass of water. When he passes the window overlooking his garden, he stops and looks outside. Suddenly, he notices a figure crossing the street, coming from his neighbor's house. But without thinking too much of it, he turns away from the window, heading to the kitchen. End of flashback. Jack sits on the couch, thinking for a moment. Then, he nods to himself, and stands up with a determined look on his face. It has become evening. Jack is standing in the bedroom at his desk, which is covered in papers. He is staring at a handmade map, which is showing his neighbor's house. There are a few markings here and there, mainly near the second floor window. Then, he places one last marking, somewhere on the second floor, after which he walks out of the bedroom. Heading for the front door, Jack opens it and goes outside. The street is calm as he walks down the short path leading away from his house, then he turns right onto the sidewalk. Coming up to Andrew's house, he stops and looks up the side of the two-story building. While he's inspecting the second floor window, a shadow appears in front of it, forcing Jack to dive behind the house's corner. He lands into a small alleyway overgrown with grass. He looks around the corner, but doesn't see anything. He gets up and quickly walks down the narrow alleyway separating Andrew's house from his. At the end, another alleyway intersects the one Jack is in, allowing him to round another corner of Andrew's house, after which he disappears out of view. On the other side of the house, he emerges from the alleyway, carefully crossing an open area of the sidewalk. Then, he walks up to a window on ground level and looks into a dark and abandoned living room. Shifting his gaze, he stares through another window on the second floor, but he's not able to see much more than the contours of a bedroom. After a while, he continues on, quickly heading around the house back towards his own place. A full day passes, without much happening. It's midnight again, when Jack opens the door and goes outside, entirely dressed in climbing gear, as he heads for Andrews' house once again. Coming up to the house, Jack pauses briefly, and looks up the side of the building. Then, he throws the climbing hook up to a point where it perfectly lands and is secured. Placing his hands against the wall, he begins to climb up, using the hook to gain grip. His muscles are tensed, as he slowly ascends up the side of the house. As he nears the second floor window, Jack almost slips, but he manages to grab onto the window frame just in time. Finally at the window, he grabs the hammer with one hand from his belt, and, with determination in his eyes, breaks the glass. Without hesitation, he dives inside, avoiding the sharp pieces of glass. Sternly gripping the hammer with both hands, Jack cautiously makes his way towards Andrew's bedroom. As he enters the room, Andrew stands just around the corner, holding the long knife still stained with Jane's blood. A grin spreads across Andrew's face as he lunges towards Jack, who quickly dodges the knife. Jack leaps forward, ducks underneath Andrew's arm, and swings the hammer at his knee. Andrew falls on top of him, stabbing him in his upper thigh with a knife. Jack crawls from underneath Andrew, grabs his hammer from the ground, kicks away the knife, and smashes the hammer down on Andrew's back, who's still trying to get up. Andrew lies on the ground, his back broken. Jack lifts Andrew up, who's still struggling weakly. Then he carries Andrew to the window in his bedroom, and throws him straight through the glass. After a long drop, Andrew smacks down onto the pavement. Looking down through the broken window, Jack sees Andrew laying on the sidewalk. A weak smile crosses his face as he stares down at the deformed body.
So where do we look? Seems like a clean house, but I can't be too sure, only because I've seen how fucked up things can be behind the scenes.
I'm not seeing anything down here. There is an upstairs part of the house. Do you want to come up with me?
I'd, rather not. Sorry, Brian.
No problem, I'll look for anything, and call you up there if I need you to look at something.
Oh boy, why am I not liking the sound of this?
Okay, let's check this room. Seems fine. Wait a minute. The hell is this? Looks like some map of sorts. Might have to follow it for more clues. However, I'm a little confused why this Jack guy left it here. More importantly, why he'd made this map. Even more importantly, though, why he even killed Andrew, whoever Andrew is. Ooh, free pen. Thanks, Jack.
It's early in the morning, as a slightly older man trudges through the woods. It is Jeremy, who lives alone in a small cabin. A few sunbeams pierce through the trees, lighting up the leaves on the ground, as well as the wooden cabin itself which is nearby. Then, something glimmering catches his attention, and he sits down on his knees between the shrubs. He picks up a necklace, which has a few bits of dried blood on it, the initials, A.L, dangling from it. Jeremy's eyes go wide, looking at the necklace that he knows so well. After a moment, he gets up and walks towards a thicker group of bushes, following a track of muddy footprints. Once there, he gets on his knees again and pulls the thick shrubs aside. A horrific sight greets Jeremy as his eyes attempt to process what's in front of him. Under the bushes, a deformed and bended body is buried partially beneath the soil. The head is massively damaged and strangely flattened out, and the back is smashed and broken. In one of the pockets of Andrew's body is a ripped-off piece of paper. As Jeremy grabs it, he can barely read. Jack, come, for, need, be, cur, ul. Jeremy sits there, horrified, his eyes glued to the paper with his dead friend's handwriting on it. Then he makes a decision, driven by unkillable anger, overwhelming sadness and fear. In his head, he sees images of Jack hunting on deers in the woods, and he puts together a plan. The view switches to a dark room which appears to be an underground bunker of some kind. Along the walls are wooden crates with munition and other military supplies. Jack crosses the room, opens a metal safe embedded in the wall, and retrieves a map out of it. Placing the map on a rough wooden desk, he picks up a pen and places several markings along a forest trail. He sighs, puts down the pen, and then picks up a small backpack filled with ammunition. He walks up to the wall where a long cardboard box sits. He lifts it up, slinging it over his shoulder together with the backpack. On the way out, he gets a mean-looking shotgun from the desk, after which he disappears into a dark tunnel. It has become evening as Jack walks down a narrow forest trail. There are thick bushes on the sides, as well as some tall, old poplar trees. He is still carrying the strange-looking cardboard box over his shoulder while holding the heavy shotgun in his strong hands. View switches to Jeremy, who is laying on the roof of his cabin with an enormous sniper rifle in front of him. It is propped up on a tripod and has a long silencer attached. As soon as he looks through the scope, he sees Jack on the trail. But he misses, blowing a hole in a tree next to Jack. Back to Jack, who immediately dives behind cover. He peers around the base of the tree he's laying behind, but can't see where the shot came from. Then he quickly jumps up, runs back to his cardboard box, and starts sprinting along the trail, close to the bushes on the other side. Jack gets to an open area with several picnic tables. There are a few trees scattered around, and the place is surrounded by low, neat trimmed hedges. He stops and sets the box down on one of the benches. It appears to be a cardboard dummy, complete with a fake head and a stretched out arm holding a plastic rifle. After checking the dummy, he sneaks away, back into the trees. Back to Jeremy, who furiously puts down his rifle and gets up, picking up a compact assault rifle he brought along. He slowly lowers himself from the roof, landing on the ground. With the automatic rifle in both hands, he starts running towards a bridge that spans across a creek. As he gets to the bridge, he slips down the sandy slope and almost falls, but he keeps up, quickly crossing the wooden bridge. On the other side, he runs up the short slope, back into the woods. Then, through the bushes, Jeremy sees the back of the head of the dummy and he fires. As soon as the bullets rip through the cardboard, the dummy falls to the ground, and Jeremy realizes with horror that it wasn't Jack. Slowly, he turns around, and there is Jack, standing right behind him with his shotgun aimed. Overwhelmed, Jeremy nervously laughs, quickly raising the rifle. Without wasting any second, Jack fires. Jeremy stumbles, hitting the ground hard, clutching his destroyed knee. Laughing, Jack slowly walks towards Jeremy, the shotgun aimed at his face. As soon as Jack hears the movement in the vegetation, he drops to the ground, while a bullet misses his head by a few seconds. He immediately jumps up again, and sprints off into the forest, another bullet hitting a tree nearby. Then he drops behind another tree, aims, and fires the shotgun into the open space behind him. Soil and grass rain down on Jack as a bullet slams into the ground right in front of his face. Once again he runs off, dashing through low bushes and thick vegetation. Suddenly, the ground slopes down, and Jack stumbles, falling into the water of the creek. The view returns to Jeremy laying on the ground. He grins through his pain, knowing he is not alone. In the distance, one single flash of light is visible, as the unknown shooter fires for the last time.
The hell is wrong with people? Can't even drive around this forest without people trying to kill me. Idiots. My god, it's a fucking murder scene out here. My eyes can't handle this, so I'm going to call someone to come investigate this, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here.
can't believe I have to go out here to this stupid forest, but, you know what? It gives me time to test out my new car I made. As you can hear, it's got the same engine as the same car from Blind Drive. However, I've made some adjustments. Instead of needing a remote that could easily get lost, I made a computer system. And yes, it runs Windows XP. Now, it will find that car, connect to it, then open a terminal window so you can make the car do various things. Okay, it gave out a help balloon saying that the terminal window is open and we can now type in any command that's programmed.
Let's go.
This is the only time I'm using you, bitch. I need to get to the stupid forest because of some sort of investigation.
Asshole detected. Adjusting attitude.
This is why you're a bitch. Anyway, we need to go fast. Okay, let's pick up the pace here.
In 20 meters, turn right. Turn left. You've arrived at your destination.
So this is the body. Looks to be freshly killed, and what I mean is this may have happened hours ago, but I can't say when. Also, everyone's claiming to have heard shots or have been shot at. I better see what this is about. What's this now? Some kind of ladder? wonder. Look at this, we've got a huge ass sniper rifle here, mine now. Anyway, I'm going back to the Blazy building, before I get caught here.